All right, today we've got a really fascinating story for you. Coming out of the Philippines, it's about a powerful new government watchdog. Sure, but it's also about a super innovative grassroots movement. A movement designed to give that watchdog something it desperately needs. Eyes and ears right there on the ground.
So let's get right to the heart of it. Imagine you create this brand new anti-corruption agency with all the legal power in the world. I mean, it can dig through records, freeze assets, demand answers from anyone. But what if that watchdog is operating so high up, so far away in the capital city, that it just can't see the crumbling roads or the ghost projects in the communities it's supposed to be protecting? And that is the big problem we're diving into today.
Okay, so first things first. Let's meet the main player in this story, the government's shiny new watchdog, built to tackle a really massive problem.
It's called the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or the ICI for short. Now, it was created by executive order, and its mission is crystal clear. It's laser-focused on investigating corruption in public works. We're talking about flood control projects, roads, buildings, the actual foundations of a community.
And on paper, this thing has some serious teeth. I mean, when you look at what it's supposed to be able to do, it's pretty incredible. It can start its own investigations without even waiting for a complaint. It can issue subpoenas, demand documents, and even ask for a suspect's assets to be frozen. Yeah, this is a really big deal.
But, like with any powerful organization, there's always a catch, right? A blind spot. And for the ICI, it's a huge one.
And really, this one quote says it all. Powerful in investigation, weak in enforcement. The ICI can find all the facts, but it can't actually seal the deal. So let's break down what that really means.
Okay, here's the thing you really got to understand. The ICI is only a fact-finding body. It's a master detective, an expert at gathering evidence and exposing problems. But it has zero power to actually prosecute anyone. It does all this amazing investigative work, and then it just has to hand its files over to other agencies and hope they do something about it. Think of it this way. It's the detective, but it's not the prosecutor or the judge.
And this is where that whole high-altitude idea really comes into play. The ICI's power lives in this world of Manila boardrooms, of high-level legal filings and procedures. It's totally disconnected from the reality on the ground, from the local barangay halls and the community meetings where people are actually living with the results of corruption. The flooded homes, the roads that fall apart after one rainy season, the projects that were paid for but, well, were never even built.
So, if your powerful watchdog is way up in the sky and all the problems are happening down on the ground, how in the world do you connect them? Well, you build a bridge.
And that is the brilliant, innovative idea at the heart of this entire story. The solution isn't to get rid of the ICI or weaken it. It's to build a bridge that connects its incredible high-altitude legal power with the kind of on-the-ground intelligence and vigilance that only local communities have. It's all about feeding grassroots truth directly into that powerful legal machinery.
So how do you actually build this bridge? Well, it's a two-pronged approach. First, you set up simple community reporting channels. Think of a little desk in a local chapel or a community center where literally anyone can go and report a problem. And then there's a second idea, and this is the real game changer: youth watchdog brigades. And this isn't just about activism, no. It's about training young people to see documenting corruption as a kind of sacred duty, a form of stewardship for their own community.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. These youth watchdog brigades, how do they actually work? Because this is where it gets really, really clever.
So this isn't your typical volunteer sign-up sheet. Not at all. It's almost gamified. There's this whole ceremonial progression path. Young people start as an observer, then after they file their first credible report, they become a documenter, and eventually they can rise to the rank of defender, where they lead their own brigade and mentor new members. It's genius, right? It turns this civic duty into a real rite of passage, a mark of honor in their community.
And the way the information moves, it's absolutely brilliant. So picture this. A young steward documents an issue, maybe a crack in a new wall, using geotagged photos on their phone. That report then gets validated by community elders, to make sure it's credible, before it's sent on to the ICI. And, this is the most important part, the loop closes. The ICI's findings are actually shared back with the community, and the work of the stewards is celebrated. It creates this powerful, motivating feedback loop.
And that, right there, is the profound shift in thinking. It completely reframes the entire process. Filing a report is no longer just some dry, bureaucratic complaint. It becomes an act of stewardship. It's sacred. It's about protecting your community, your home, your legacy. And that is a far, far more powerful motivator than just filling out a form. All right, so let's zoom out. What's the big picture here? What does all of this really add up to? Well, it's way more than just a clever program. It's a totally new way of thinking about accountability itself.
At the end of the day, this is the main thing to take away from all this. This model bridges two worlds that almost never talk to each other: the lawyer's world of subpoenas and legal documents, and the youth's world of community pride and sacred duty. It transforms accountability from something distant and abstract, some far-off courtroom battle, into a living, breathing covenant between a government institution and the very people it's meant to serve.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Is this just a unique, one-off solution for one country? Or could this hybrid model, this blend of high-level institutional power and sacred grassroots vigilance, actually be a blueprint for the future of fighting corruption all around the world? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for digging into this with me today.